What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report for Thursday, September 4th, 2014, delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello, or on Twitter @The Enter Report. Legendary comedian Joan Rivers, the sharp-tongued entertainer who opened doors for women in comedy, has died at the age of 81. Her daughter Melissa released a statement on Thursday afternoon announcing the legendary comedian had died. "It is with great sadness that I announce the death of my mother, Joan Rivers. She passed peacefully at 1:17 p.m. surrounded by family and close friends," the statement said. Rivers, who most recently co-hosted E's Fashion Police, was rushed to Mount Sinai Hospital in New York last Thursday after she stopped breathing while undergoing throat surgery. She was later placed in a medically induced coma and had been on life support. E released a statement on Thursday saying, E and NBC Universal sends our deepest condolences to Melissa, Cooper, and her entire extended family on this incredibly sad day. For decades, Joan has made people laugh, shattered glass ceilings, and revolutionized comedy. She was unapologetic and fiercely dedicated to entertaining all of us, and has left an indelible mark on the people that worked with her and on her legions of fans. Born Joan Alexandra Malinsky in Brooklyn in 1933, Rivers was the daughter of Russian immigrants Meyer and Beatrice Malinsky. She graduated Phi Beta Kappa from Barnard College in 1954 with a Bachelor of Arts degree in English literature. The following year, she married her first husband, James Sanger, but the relationship was short-lived, and the couple had the marriage annulled 6 months later. Rivers' second marriage to film and television producer Edgar Rosenberg lasted 23 years until he committed suicide in 1987. Rivers broke into the spotlight with a 1965 guest appearance on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Though she would go on to frequently fill in for Johnny Carson, Rivers was banned from the late-night show after she left her permanent guest host position to launch a competing show on Fox. While her Fox program, The Late Show starring Joan Rivers, was short-lived, her Tonight Show ban would last for more than 2 decades. Rivers returned to The Tonight Show again earlier this year, briefly appearing with new host Jimmy Fallon on his first episode. During her decades-long career, Rivers would often turn her abrasive style of humor on herself, frequently joking about her appearance and plastic surgery. Rivers once wisecracked, "I've had so much plastic surgery, when I die they will donate my body to Tupperware." Her second husband, Edgar Rosenberg, also factored into her barbs, but tragedy struck the couple in 1987 when Rosenberg committed suicide. He was weighed down by health issues and suffered a heart attack in 1984, but Rosenberg also grappled with emotional issues and had been depressed after Rivers was fired from her Fox talk show, which Rosenberg produced. Rivers told People he bottled it up and killed himself at 62. The couple had one child, daughter Melissa Warburg Rosenberg, who was born in 1968. Rivers received numerous Daytime Emmy nominations, winning in 1990 in the Outstanding Talk Show Service Host category for The Joan Rivers Show, which aired from 1989 to 1993. Her other television credits included The Carol Burnett Show, Hollywood Squares, Saturday Night Live, Nip Tuck, and The Ed Sullivan Show. She and Melissa were also co-starred on the WE TV reality series Joan and Melissa Joan Knows Best, and were longtime co-hosts of E's Oscar pre-awards coverage, while the elder Rivers went on to host red carpet events for TV Guide Channel. She also regularly poked fun of the stars and their red carpet attire on E's Fashion Police, which Melissa executive produces. Rivers had tied to the film industry as well. She co-wrote and directed a feature film in the 1970s, highly groundbreaking for a woman in Hollywood at that time, titled Rabbit Test, and the 1978 comedy centered on a pregnant man. It starred Billy Crystal in his first featured film, and Doris Roberts played his mother. In 2009, Joan and Melissa were contestants on the NBC reality competition show Celebrity Apprentice. Joan won by beating out poker champ Annie Duke. In recent years, Rivers was criticized for joking about Grammy-winning singer Adele's weight, as well as jokes about the Holocaust and the Ariel Castro kidnappings in Cleveland, Ohio. When faced with criticism, Rivers was prone to dig her heels in. Called out by the Anti-Defamation League for her vulgar and hideous remarks about the Holocaust, Rivers replied, quote, "This is the way I remind people about the Holocaust. I do it through humor." In July of this year, she made headlines again by walking out of an interview with CNN because she felt weekend anchor Federica Whitfield's questions were a negative attack rather than a lighthearted chat about a comedy book. Rivers told the Wrap at the time she did not seem to understand we were talking about a comedy book and not the transcripts from the Nuremberg trial. Every question was an accusatory one designed to put me on the defense. Throughout her groundbreaking career, Rivers also branched out into writing and penning a dozen books, including the mock memoir The Life and Hard Times of Heidi Amberitz and the books Diary of a Mad Diva, Still Talking, and Bouncing Back. I've survived everything, and I mean everything, and you can too. As a recording artist, Rivers was nominated for a Grammy Award for her comedy album, What Becomes a Semi-Legend Most. Rivers also had a successful fashion and jewelry line called the Joan Rivers Classic Collections, which was a top seller on television shopping network QVC. Rivers is survived by her daughter Melissa and her grandson Cooper. Hollywood and many giants from the world of comedy have expressed their deepest sorrows and grief over the loss of Joan Rivers online. David Letterman said, "Here's a woman, a real pioneer for other women looking for careers in stand-up." And talk about guts, she would come out here and sit in his chair and say things that were unbelievable just where you would have to swallow pretty hard, but it was hilarious. The force of her comedy was overpowering. Amy Poehler said, "What a full life. Every woman in comedy is indebted to her. She was there at the beginning and funny to the end." Carol Burnett said, "I knew Joan for 50 years, and she was always fun, charming, and sweet to be with, and funny as hell. She was also the poster child for the Energizer Bunny. My love goes out to Melissa and Cooper. I am very sad today." Former First Lady Nancy Reagan said, "Joan Rivers was not only a dear friend, but one of the kindest and funniest people I ever knew. I doubt there's anyone who hasn't laughed at her or with her until they cried. Today our tears are those of sadness. I know I join millions in saying, thanks for the good times, Joan. We will truly miss you. My love and deepest sympathy goes out to Melissa and Cooper." Judge Judy said, "There won't be another one like her in our lifetime. Aside from her tremendous talent, she was gracious, giving, and honest. She was a one-of-a-kind lady. I'll miss her." Whoopi Goldberg said, "My dear friend Joan Rivers has passed away once again. I can only quote Billy Crystal. There are no words. Bon voyage, Joan." Ryan Seacrest said, "Joan was a trailblazer in so many ways, and I greatly admire her talent and humor. She was a colleague and friend as we worked together on E! And she was also a treasured guest on my radio show many times. Regardless of the form, Joan was full of funny, witty surprises, and she had so much spirit. She will be greatly missed. My thoughts and prayers go out to Melissa and her family." Legendary comedian Don Rickles said, "Our dear Joan is gone. Knowing her, working with her, and enjoying the fun times of life with her was special. She will always be in our hearts. She was a good friend to Barbara and I. Melissa, be strong and take care of your son Cooper. Joan, we will miss you." Legendary singer Barbara Streisand said, "I first met Joan Malinsky, that was her real name, when I was 17 years old. We were both in an off-Broadway show called Driftwood. She was a real character, and I am so upset by her passing. She was too young and still had so much to do." David Steinberg said she was one of the best comedy guests Johnny Carson ever had. Louis C.K. wrote, "I feel very lucky that I knew Joan Rivers, and I feel very sad that she's gone. She was a great comedian and a wonderful person. I never saw someone attack a stage with so much energy. She was a controlled lightning bolt. She was a prolific and unpredictable, joyful joke writer. She loved comedy. She loved the audience. She was a great actress and should have done more than that. She loved living and working. She was kind. She was real. She was brave. She was funny, and you just wanted to be around her. I looked up to her. I learned from her. I love her. I like her, and I already miss her very much. It really fucking sucks that she had to die all of a sudden." Barbara Walters said, "No one loved life, laughter, and a good time more than Joan. We would have dinner and laugh and gossip, and I always left the table smiling. She was a brassy, often outrageous, and hilarious person who made millions laugh. In private, she was the picture of elegance and class. I will miss her." Billy Eichner said, "Joan was a truly an inspiration. She encouraged me long before anyone else, and she did that for many comedians and writers she believed in. She was a joy to be around, and she led a truly fabulous life. I will never forget her and will miss her terribly." Amy Schumer said, Joan Rivers was hilarious and relevant all the way to the end. She inspired every comic I know. We will carry her with us and quote her jokes forever. When I first met her at the premiere of her movie, A Piece of Work, she was so kind and wanted to make sure all the comics were going to stay so we could all hang out together. I thought that was so cool. Such a pro, such a hard worker. This was a huge loss for us all. Jimmy Kimmel wrote, we lost a great one in @Joan_Rivers. She was funny all the way to the end. Samuel L. Jackson said, love her or hate her, we're going to miss Joan Rivers. I always respected her go for broke humor, one of a kind. Lena Dunham said, watching Joan Rivers do stand-up at age 81 was incredible, athletic, jaw-dropping, terrifying, essential. It never stopped, neither will she. Roseanne Barr said, R.I.P. Goddess, hail, hail, a genius has vacated this realm. Joan Rivers has died. Jerry McCartney wrote on Twitter, R.I.P. to the funniest, most hardworking lady in the biz. You'll be missed at Joan_Rivers. In some other news, beginning Monday, September 8th, new episodes of The Ellen DeGeneres Show will be airing at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, weeknights, with rebroadcasting the following morning at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Sirius. Ellen DeGeneres is coming to Sirius XM starting on Monday, September 8th, coinciding with the season premiere of The Ellen DeGeneres Show. The comedian has inked a deal with the satellite radio service to offer autocasts of her talk show over Sirius XM airwaves. Episodes will be broadcast on Sirius XM Stars, Channel 109, as well as through Sirius XM's international radio app for smartphones every weeknight at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The autocast will be on the same episode that broadcasts on television and syndication that day across the nation. Episodes will also be rebroadcast the following morning at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. As the generous syndicated program airs on television at different times in different markets, Sirius XM will be the only destination that offers a set time for a show no matter where in the nation you happen to be. Sirius XM's president and CCO Scott Greenstein wrote, Ellen is the most popular nationally syndicated daytime talk show, and we know our listeners, whether they are in the car, at home, or on the go, we will love being able to tune into the daily show through satellite radio and not miss a minute. The new season of The Ellen DeGeneres Show kicks off Monday, September 8th, with an exclusive interview with the new coaching panel on NBC's The Voice. DeGeneres will welcome Adam Levine, Blake Shelton, Gwen Stefani, and Pharrell Williams. This week continues with appearances from Kim Kardashian, Nicki Minaj, Channing Tatum, and Iggy Azalea. Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Duvall took the spotlight at Thursday's opening night gala at the Toronto International Film Festival with their performances in The Judge, drawing a sustained ovation from the crowd at the huge Roy Thompson Hall. At the same time, reaction was more muted for the film itself, a change-of-pace drama from the director of Wedding Crashers, but probably not a movie likely to, for that matter, designed to draw much award buzz this Oscar season. In other words, it was business as usual at the Toronto International Film Festival's opening night. The festival doesn't have a reputation for scheduling its strongest films to kick things off. Instead, the prime screening nights for films like Argo, 12 Years a Slave, and Gravity tended to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, while the opening slot in recent years have gone to less award-worthy movies like the crowd-pleasing sci-fi flick Looper, the YouTube documentary From the Sky Down, and last year's opener, Bill Condon's underwhelming The Fifth Estate. The Judge is part courtroom drama and larger part character study, with Downey as a slick and effective criminal lawyer who reluctantly returns to the small town where he grew up to defend his estranged father, played by Duvall, a judge of 42 years who is accused of murder. The film also features Vincent D'Onofrio, Vera Farmiga, Billy Bob Thornton, and Dax Shepard. Toronto International Film Festival Artistic Director Cameron Bailey said when introducing the movie, "They say they don't make movies like these anymore. Dramas, movies where you can't tell the good guys from the bad guys by looking at their suits. In fact, in The Judge, the lines are pretty blurred, but the guy who wears the nicest suits in Downey's character, an extremely flawed hero we like mostly because he's played by Downey. The performance is glib, charming, charismatic, and more than a little tortured by mistakes and regrets from the character's past. If we've seen Downey act like this before on and off screen, the part is still a good fit and he inhabits it effortlessly. And for Duvall, who may get the biggest awards push of anyone in this film, also plays the kind of role we've seen him in before, a tough-as-nails father with an inflex sense of how things should be done and little sympathy for a wayward son. When Fox Sports kicks off its NFL coverage on Sunday, Pam Oliver will not be in the prime role that she has held for almost 2 decades. The 53-year-old sports reporter has been replaced from her usual spot on the field by Dancing with the Stars co-host Erin Andrews, with Oliver being moved to the number 2 Fox team with Kevin Burkhardt and John Lynch. The official announcement sent ripples through the sports world when it was reported by Sports Illustrated in July, and now Oliver has broke her silence on the issue in a new interview with Essence magazine. Oliver said to Essence after Andrews was hired from ESPN 2 years earlier, even before my bosses told me what was going on, there had been rumblings that my days as a sideline reporter were coming to an end. I knew they hadn't brought her on just to be a bench warmer. Rather than getting caught up in a catfight, Oliver's colleagues credited her for the classy way she handled the situation as she kept her head down and did her job. But, quote, still, I was humiliated. Finally, by April, her bosses called a meeting and flew out to look her in the eye when they delivered the news that there would be a, quote, a change of direction within the company, and she would be working on Fox Sports 1, the secondary cable sports channel that launched in 2013 to work on specials and longer-form stories. The only hitch was Oliver wanted to stay on the sidelines interviewing players and coaches in the middle of the action. She said, quote, it was important to me to have a 20th season. To end on 19 is whack. I wanted 20. I revealed the veteran reporter who joined Fox in 1995 as part of the network's #1 broadcasting team of Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Oliver was eventually given a role on the sidelines for her final year, but not with her usual crew, and she said having the trio split up after over a decade was difficult. It hurts, she admitted. With 36-year-old Andrews taking the top role and Oliver being demoted, the African-American reporter was repeatedly asked if she thought it had anything to do with race. She replied steadfastly, no, I definitely do not. Whether it was because of the 17-year-old difference, well, maybe, she confessed. The business is very demographic-oriented. As one executive said to me, Fox Sports will look radically different in the coming years. I assume that means they want to look younger. Actor Tom Hanks, British rock star Sting, and comedian Lily Tomlin are to receive this year's Kennedy Center honors, one of the top cultural prizes in the United States. Let's Stay Together singer Al Green and ballet dancer Patricia McBride will round up the 5 2014 honorees in recognition of their lifetime contributions to U.S. culture through the performing arts, the Kennedy Center said on Thursday. The Kennedy Center said in a statement, Al Green's iconic voice stirs our souls in a style that is all his own. Tom Hanks has a versatility that ranks him among the greatest actors of any generation. They also added Sting, whose hits include Every Breath You Take with his band The Police, was lauded for his unique voice and memorable songwriting, while Tomlin, star of stage, screen, and television for more than 40 years, has made us laugh and continues to amaze us with her acting talent and quick wit. McBride spent almost 30 years with the New York City Ballet and worked with choreographers Jerome Robbins and George Balanchine. The 5 will be celebrated at a gala on December 7th in Washington, attended by U.S. President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama. Previous Kennedy Center honorees included Oprah Winfrey, Paul McCartney, Bruce Springsteen, Meryl Streep, Elizabeth Taylor, and Robert Redford. A Pretty Little Liar, a YouTube star, an MMA fighter, a NASCAR driver, and more will dance their way through ABC's new season of Dancing with the Stars. The network announced on Thursday that MMA fighter Randy Couture, race car driver Michael Waltrip, Pretty Little Liars star Janelle Parrish, Duck Dynasty's Sadie Robinson, and actor Antonio Sabato Jr. are among the new cast members of the 19th season of ABC's hit reality competition show. Tommy Chong of famous comedy duo Cheech and Chong, Mean Girls alum Jonathan Bennett, Back to the Future star Leah Thompson, and talk show host Travis Smiley will also take part in the new season, as will Olympian Lolo Jones, YouTube sensation Bethany Mota, fashion designer Betsy Johnson, and Fresh Prince star Afonso Roberto. Derek Huff, the professional dancer who's taken home the most trophies for the shows with a total of 5, will be paired with Mada, the 18-year-old YouTube star who's racked up over 7 million subscribers, perhaps an early indication that she's expected to go far in the competition. The season 19 cast of Dancing with the Stars was first revealed on Good Morning America. It will premiere on Monday, September 15th on ABC. And finally, congratulations to Scarlett Johansson. A spokesman for the 29-year-old actress told the Associated Press Thursday that Johansson and her fiancé Roman Darek have welcomed a baby girl whom they named Rose. Marcel Perciot said mother and daughter are doing well. He added that the couple is seeking privacy and are supporters of the No Kids policy, the celebrity effort to keep famous folks' children out of the public eye. Johansson and Darek, a French former journalist, have been engaged since September 2013. She was previously married to Ryan Reynolds. They split in 2010. Johansson's recent credits include the film Lucy, Chef, and Captain America's The Winter Soldier. She'll reprise her role as Black Widow in next year's Avengers Age of Ultron. Congratulations to them. And that is your entertainment report for Thursday, September 4th, 2014. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back tomorrow delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello. That's RAYMELO, or on Twitter @The Enter Report. I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye.